Yeah, they both are different, as in if you remove null from the dimensions and the columns,
Yes.
it will remove null from those dimensions only.
Okay.
You
I
know
have
the
to
point? Like
individually.
suppose I'm removing null from name
Hmm.
or an year. It will only remove name from year.
Yes. Okay.
If I'm removing from product category, it will only remove null from
Only.
product category. But if I'm
Okay.
removing null or don't keep those zero values from add-on, it will do force elimination of null. It will remove null
Okay.
from entire data set of like entire data set for that particular chart.
Chart. Okay.
So I'll tell you where it is. It becomes handy that sometime it happens that the value is space or something like that. You are not getting rid of it, or maybe there is a hyphen in the data itself, and you are
Yes.
not getting help from removing null from dimensions. Then you use it. So it is a kind of a tricky situation. Sometimes it does help, right? Sometimes the stubborn null values which are not getting removed from those dimension option, they get removed. But sometimes
They
what
get
happens,
removed.
you do want to keep some values, but because you are unchecking from the add-on option,
Aldo.
it also removes that. So it is kind of a tricky. It sometimes become helpful, it sometimes become headache for you.
So you know better when to use it, right?
I mean, it becomes kind of a hit and trial that if something is not working for you and you want that to happen for customer and your data is not getting affected, you use that. But if you know that, okay, by removing it, my data is getting hampered, my values are getting changed. For example, suppose you are counting customers, right? You are counting
Yes.
customers and suppose there are 100 customers and there are few customer which has not made any transaction for a particular period. Suppose in a month they haven't made any transaction, right?
Right.
So but still you want to count the customer because at any point of time they had made the transaction, but you are using the data for
Right.
1 month only in
That
that
particular.
particular.
Yes.
There is a mix and match of a combination wherein you want all the customers count, plus you want only those customer to show which have done transaction in 1 month in a single chart. So you have two kind of condition or requirement, right? What will happen if you remove that null from the add-on? It would remove all those customers who
All
haven't
the.
done transaction as well, but you want that data, so your data is getting hampered, right? Then you what you do, you find out another way to make that possible.
Okay.
So these kind of options are for the ideal situation. So it is like hit and trial. You know your data, and you also know that in real time data is not very realistic. Data is always cluttery.
That's yeah. I
You
agree.
you you yourself work in a MIS department. You know that data always have some kind of limit problem. Maybe it's a formatting, maybe it's a logic, maybe it's a mix and match of what you are required to, and that is why your chart, whatever you're creating, they are also not behaving as per your requirement. So it's like, yes, these options are there to help you out, but sometimes they become headache also. So you need to first know your data and then
Yes.
act accordingly and manage accordingly what is the requirement currently.
Okay. So
Once you
be. I think I should be careful while using it.
check your data. So I in today's class, even that is my topic, always review your data, right? It's like what happens in the real time scenario. Once you start doing visualization, there might be a chance. See, in case of click, there are huge chance that you will be working on data as well. I mean, click give you that comfort to play around with data, but when you work in Tableau or Power BI, what happens? There is a dedicated team of data which prepares data for you.
Okay.
So there is a huge probability that you won't even know the how data is coming or what kind of data it is. So what happens when you do not prepare the data? You are not much aware about that. You only and obviously logical document, the BRD business requirement document is provided to you, wherein all the formulas are being given. So you just apply the formula and you pass it on to the user. Okay, this is what I have done, and validate. But being a developer, you should always have your data handy with you, and you should always recheck with the formula you are applying so that your values, at least aggregation, the total should match, right?
All right.
So this is a good practice when you do it.
So
All
let's
right.
start.
Yeah. So yesterday we were working on budget file, budget dashboard. So yesterday I've added few KPIs and all into this. So there is one more thing. This is Lasso. I mean, this is quite handy in terms of when you have a huge data. When you click on
Okay.
this, you make the selection.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it is like a random selection. So you make that selection, and whatever area that that has been selected through
Yes.
that lasso, your only those
Lasso.
data is being shown and all. And there is one more thing which is known as alternative dimension.
Alternative.
Yeah, it sometimes becomes really handy. So right now in alternative dimension, I have used budget category, and in the main dimension, I have used month. So if user do not want to see the data in month view,
Month
they
wise.
can check budget category, and the data would show according to budget only. So these are some user-friendly options, user-friendly functionalities that Click has. If user is bit of a technical, I would say, or someone who loves to explore the functionalities, they do use these kind of things, but most of the user do not. They want us to give whatever they want. That's it. They don't want to play around with charts.
Okay.
There is one more thing. If a user, what happens? User always wants that in even Excel dashboard, what we do, we give data as well in a tabular form along with chart. So if user want to
Yes.
see the only data in a tabular form, what he can do, he can go and click on view data. So this will
It
be
will
converted
convert.
into this tabular form. And
Okay.
again, he can click on this and click on view chart. So these are the things which is like basic stuff. A user should be made aware, user should be educated. It's up to him if he wants to use it or not, right?
Right.
So there are other options as well. Full screen is like if he
Full
wants to see it on a full screen single chart only. Exploration menu, as I told you that yes, we have two measures. If he want to switch,
So
he can.
it is the same thing like properties
Yeah,
or
property. So these are the properties restricted to local user, as in if I am a user, I am opening this application, and
okay.
whatever changes I'm making, it will be applicable to me only, not for the entire organization.
Okay, so it that facility is available for a recipient of this dashboard.
Exactly. So whatever changes he will make, it will not only be applicable to him. Next time he'll open the application, it will be shown to him like this only. But other people who are opening the application, it would be a default view, what a developer has given.
Given. Okay.
So this is kind of a user-friendly or non-developer dependent or self-guided, you can say. So category, as I told you, that he can choose between the categories. He doesn't want month, he want this budget category. He can do it. Sorting as well. We have made sorting like right now is a budget category. He can sort the data as per his requirement. Obviously, all those properties which are visible to us won't be visible to him. It would be only those properties which are helpful to a user,
Okay.
those will be shown.
So Rahul, the line you are showing here, it is a trend line, or you have made a combo chart.
Yeah, I've used a combo chart. I've used a combo chart wherein a bar is there for a primary access and the line is
Yes.
there for the secondary access. So he can use the data, I mean, these properties, right? So it is all locally managed thing which he can manage for himself, not for the entire organization.
So once he saved this view, next time when this dashboard will get refreshed or reloaded, he will get to view this uh,
Exactly, this
chart
view.
again. Only this
Yes,
view. Okay.
and locally saved. So in desktop, I cannot show you, but what happens when you publish an application in enterprise? So they also user also get this kind of option. I
Okay,
mean, this is
create
a
sheet as
desktop,
well.
so we can create. So in enterprise, they get this option as well. Create
Okay.
new sheet. So they can create even a dashboard for him themselves. Okay.
So, for
So
example, if a dashboard or application is saved in any stream and I open it, I want to look at the expression. Is it possible for me look
as a
into the
user,
expression? Yes, as a user.
you will only be able to see those expressions which are saved in master items.
Okay.
I mean, you have to create. So what happens in general practice? First thing is we try to make our data model very easy so that a user can use those dimensional measures. And secondly, see what happens right now in my current project, user won't touch anything.
Okay.
So we are a bit relaxed that okay, it is all on us how in whatever manner we want to
We
design
want to.
and whatever we want to give. But in some projects, user also wants that we'll be creating. Give us the data, give us the chart, but we all will be exploring the data as well. So what we do, we try and create every dimension in master dimension,
Okay.
every measure in master measure, and try to rename it very easy in a very easy manner so that any normal user of an organization can be able to understand that,
Okay.
right? We cannot give name in a very fancy manner so that only a single developer can understand. We have to give it in a very generic manner. So they can create their own dashboard, but yes, it will be only visible to them, not for the entire organization. All right. So this is the one thing. And secondly, I've added more filters like margin, operating
Yes.
expense, etc. Just to give more granularity to the dashboard. If a user wants, they can. I mean, adding more filters always create easiness for a user.
User.
So these are the options. Like if I've made a selection or I've removed something, but if I want to step back at okay, what I did in a previous action, I can do that from these
Yes.
options, right? I'm stepping back. It's like Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Y in Excel, right? If I want to remove all the selections in one go, I can click on there rather than removing the selection one by one. This search button I've already told you.
Yes.
So I've told you the very basic some KPIs and all. What we can do, we can move to some calculated measures as well, wherein we are actually making some calculation in the measure itself. So I want to show my income value, income money which I've incurred. So this is a KPI which I've created.
Okay. That is
So if I have to write it again, it is like sum of, then I want to give the condition. So condition would be if. Similarly to
some
Excel,
if.
yeah, how we write in Excel, it will be same in a same manner. Budget category equal to, but yes, like in Excel, in Click it is case sensitive. If it is in capital in Excel, I mean sorry, data source, it has to
Data
be
source.
capital over here. It if it is mix and match, proper case in your data source, it has to be proper case in here as well.
Here as well. So you are adding a condition budget category should be income, then show us budget value.
Yes,
So for example, if we add another category with along with income, so we
and
add,
budget category equal to,
okay,
let's see what another category we have, margin. Even writing, for writing a single what should I say, condition, you have multiple ways to write it.
okay,
So it is giving me error that in error this bracket is required, because this bracket is, if you click on a closing bracket, it will tell you that which bracket, starting bracket it is referring to. If you can see the color,
hmm,
it is popping up. If I'll again add a bracket, it will like in Excel,
like yes,
right? So now my this thing expression is correct, so it has shown me okay,
okay,
right? In Excel, what happens, we write and then we start the bracket, or we write or and then we
or
give multiple
yes,
condition. But in Click, you just write and another condition and another condition, like this. It's
okay,
not like that you write single and then give all the condition. No,
oh,
you have to write every time. Again, if I want to do something like this, I have to write or something, right? So right now it is giving me income and personal expense value only. Okay, it can be either
or
income or personal expense. So I should write or. So 75.99 million is my income value and
person,
personal. So now it is a part of like calculated measures what we have used. So
right,
this is a part of our budget. What should I say? A company's budget which they have set, right? But along with budget, there comes sales as well.
hmm.
But there is one more thing, which is a data island.
Data island,
Yeah, data island. Let me show you what that data island is. So this was my script.
yes,
So it is taking time to seek the connection. Suppose I have a random file. I'm giving this table a name, any name, which I can do. I can give my table name any name I want.
so any restriction in it, for
Yes,
example,
you cannot provide space. I mean, you cannot write like this.
or any
You
we if we want we can add any special character,
any special character. Usually we write like this, underscore.
okay.
So right now I'm loading this sales dimension product table, product sheets.
So here you have made the connection directly from the workbook.
Exactly. Exactly. So once you'll start working in it in Click, you will not even go to data manager because you know the data,
Yes, most of the time we
right?
use loaded data.
Yeah. So you
So,
know the data.
okay,
Being a developer,
yes,
you'll be using directly from here only. But
yes,
why I told you those things? Because those things should be
yes,
made aware.
required. Yes,
Sooner or later, once you'll start using this tool, you will encounter user who you have to teach, who you have to educate, or you have to give demos to the customer. So you should know each and everything.
Yes, of course.
Yes, right. So many
Right.
a times, I mean, most of the times we have to just give trainings, even not to customers, to our team members only, to our subordinates, new joiners. So at least we
Yes,
should be
sometimes
aware about each and
yes.
everything available,
Yes.
right? So right
Right.
now I've loaded the another sheet. We'll go to data model where. So if you can see, this table is not at all linked with the main two tables which we created.
Yes.
So there might be a case whether they'll be required. There might be a case they won't be required.
They won't verify.
In,
Okay.
in our current case, this is just an unnecessary table we have created. But there could have been a case wherein these fields might be required. So this is called a data island, which is separately placed from
Okay.
the main data model we have,
Okay.
right? So this is also
Yes.
just for the information purpose. You should know what exactly it is. If you any point of time you encounter these terminologies,
Yes.
okay. So this was our budget file. So if you remember that in marketing, where we had new, see, for income we have three categories: sales, interest, income, assets. For
Yes.
marketing we had new customers, right? So this was our data.
Yes.
So right now I am moving to from budget. Now I'm moving to sales. So our new addition would be mix and match of budget and sales, right? Once you, I don't know whether you have worked in a financial data, but
Mm.
once you work in financial data, budget and forecast and sales has to work together. Obviously you
Okay.
cannot spend money unnecessary, right? There has to be a budget, and you have to
Yes.
act according to it. And then you have to analyze where your company is, and there are targets as well, right? A
Right.
company always has target as per their past performance,
Performance.
right? So what I've done now, I've also created a budget, this monthly budget, in a more what should I say, defined manner. Like if I'll go to income, so my income have more categories: online sales, what would be my forecast and all. I have marketing, that also has like new customer. Earlier it has only new customer, right?
Only new customer.
Now I have new customers from online portal. I mean, online, the medium is online, or directly they come up to my store, right? Now
Yes.
my data is
Right.
more refined, more attributes have been added to my data, right? Now what I want to do, I want to reuse my that file, but my application name was test. I want to reuse this. So what I can do, I can go to document, I'll go to click, I'll go to
Mm.
sense, then apps, and I'll copy
Okay.
and paste the test app. Let me rename it test app 2 or 3. For my this is, I've already have test app 2. If you'll just wait for a few seconds, there is a new app created in your hub, test app 3 QVF, right? I'll open it. So if you can see, my both the sheets are there. But if again I want to change the name, I can write.
Mm. I just have a look that you already have a test app.
Yes,
So there isn't any restriction name while naming the
you
QVF
cannot
file.
name two application with same name. So even if you'll try to click, automatically gonna add one version, bracket 1, bracket 2, bracket 3 in it.
So if you can move it into your hub,
Even then as well.
if you can
So
activate your hub.
see what happens, whatever application you'll paste it over here, whatever QVF file, they will automatically be visible in your hub. So right now,
Yes.
if you can see, there are 1, 2, 3,
So
4, 5, 6, 7 application. I have around 7 application.
so
1,
here
2,
the file name is test, and
exactly.
so you are saying that it will get uh, 1, 2, 3, test
If
1,
you can
test 2,
see,
test 3,
test
but
app
there are
3.
three files. Okay,
Yeah,
so only the QVF file will change.
exactly.
The name can be same.
Yes. But in enterprise version, you cannot even have the same name.
Okay.
In that, once you copy it in your hub, it will automatically gonna rename it by one, two,
Rename.
three.
Yeah.
I mean,
Duplicate
not
of
rename, it will add a suffix.
X. Okay.
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 So this is my same application, just a copy of it. Okay. Now what
Okay.
I want to do, I want to add my new file. So I've created the new connection of sales, and I have my revised monthly and monthly budget file. Again, what I'll do, I'll select both the sheets. Obviously, I have this radar redundancy wherein I don't want year, month, and month number. I'll go to next. Same thing. I'm nothing
Right.
fancy. So if you can see, I have data. I had data island. I had calendar. So once all those which were already present in my application, you can see that there is a image of a sheet kind of thing, right?
Yes. Yes.
So this is showing that it is already in the sheet. You cannot work on it, and
Okay.
this association you can make similarly like previous one.
So this association,
So now we'll be having one more scenario that I'm gonna show you. What do you think what's gonna happen now?
we have created the calendar to startup budget. It is similar data as Iceland startup budget one. So it is old startup budget. So we now are connected to new startup budget.
So we'll be having a kind of scenario where is new and old they got merged together. So we
Okay.
have to get rid of old one. So this was our old. What we can do, we don't want this old, we want the new one only. So we can remove it.
Okay.
This data island also we don't need right now. We can delete it. So it is up to you if you want to keep this section as well. Budgeting, we don't want that connection as well. We'll be, even if you'll keep it, it won't be affecting your performance. But like, let's keep it. If you want, you can delete it as well by clicking on this button. Again,
Yes.
we want to unlock it. If you want to delete, we will be removing the unnecessary code. We don't want that. And if we're gonna load it, you'll see that your dashboard is still intact because the field names are similar to the earlier one,
Field name works. Yes.
right?
Only new customer online, offline kind of.
Sorry.
We will be getting the subcategory that
Exactly,
on.
exactly. So we'll be getting those categories: new customer online store, promoted sales online, promoted sales. So just because our field names and the field numbers were same, the new data got refreshed without any issue. So this is kind of a data reusability. You were asking me that I get monthly data on, like, every month I get data, or maybe you get data on a daily basis or weekly basis. So you need not to make change in any of the code. Just new data will be refreshed every time the refresh would happen.
So that should be in the source file. What if in a
Exactly.
folder, uh, for
Even
example,
even the
today's.
path should be same. Even the path has to be same, and your file name has to be same. Sheet name has to be same.
Okay, so in a folder, for example, I have made a connection to particular workbook, right?
Hmm.
And I am getting source data from there, and
Hmm.
I republish that data on daily basis. Next day,
Hmm.
I get another source file, and if instead of appending the already existing data, I just want to place that file into that folder and want it to reflect here, is it possible?
You have to rename those, else it will auto concatenate with this.
No, field names and everything was same. Only the date is
So what you
different.
can do, you can add a new column which is like a flag, right? You can add a new column which would be flag, just to make the identifiers, like this data belongs to this date and that data belongs to that date,
That's
right?
fine. For example, today is 25th,
Hmm.
and I'm creating a monthly report, and I'm getting a data on daily basis.
Hmm.
Suppose I have prepared the data for 1st of July, and I have made the connection to that workbook. And 2nd of July, I received another workbook which I placed into that folder instead of appending the file of 1st of July. I
The
just
data
placed.
source file, right? Source file.
Yes.
Yes. So you want to keep
So
two files now.
yes, or and in similar manner, month-wise the data files will keep on adding.
Exactly. So
So
you are saying that every time a new file comes, you just go and place it in the folder. That's it, right?
folder. Yes, and then I won't click to fetch the data from all those files.
Exactly. That is possible. That is possible. So there is one condition: the file names, what you are placing, has to be same. But for example, suppose
Then
your file name is monthly data, or suppose your finance data slash 1 July, finance data slash 2nd July. So what you can do, you can keep the first name like finance data as fixed and date as dynamic. So there is a function for all file, for all data, all files like this. So whatever files available there in that folder, click gonna automatically fetch all the files. So it is like dynamically handling all the files available.
so is there isn't any option to append the data automatically into a one table using all those files?
Yes, if your all the fields are
Yes,
similar
similar,
with
right?
similar name, you need not to do anything. It will auto append the data. And usually this happens once you create the file on a daily basis or monthly basis. Usually 99% the field names are same always, right?
Yes, right.
So once you create, see, that would be part of our this thing uh, course. In next classes I'll be telling you that part as well, auto concatenate and all. But still, if you have asked, if you have the similar field names and the same number of fields, click automatically appends the data. You need not to even do anything.
Okay, so because I haven't used it, so that's why I asked.
Yes,
But I have used it in
I'll be
Power
covering
Query.
that part. I'll be covering that part in next classes, in future course only.
Okay, so right now we are only focused on one source.
Yeah, I mean, see, things, I don't want to like jump onto a lot of stuff which you get confused. I want to go it by like step by step. Right
Right,
now, I hope you are comfortable with creating pivots and handling these properties and all, and how a
right,
dashboard should look like, right?
right.
And what are the things you should look into. Today also I'll be telling you a lot of stuff which what exactly things you should look into in a dashboard. Even I'll be giving you some data science KPIs, how to use some data,
Okay,
how to apply some data science as well in this
okay,
for your customers,
okay.
right? So that's why I don't want
Let's
to jump
start.
onto a lot of stuff for you.
But that's fine. That's fine. Actually, I asked it because uh, I tried to do it, but I didn't find any
No, no,
option in.
that is something which is even just for once or twice you need to do, and then automatically you will be finding it really easy.
But I have done it using Power Query. I just made the selection in the.
What you've done? Sorry, I missed that.
I have used it using Power Query
Power Query is in Excel or
in Excel.
yeah, yeah. So in Click you will find it is really easy. There is a even function. There is also a function for that.
Okay,
So it
okay.
is really easy. So Click is in terms of data handling, Click is really good.
So what I have observed just now that the our line chart only having the single line. Now it is showing all the lines, all the budget categories.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier it was only a single line. So have you done some control Z kind
Okay,
of?
okay. What your point? So I've just added a new field over here. I've just added a budget category over here. That's it.
Yes.
If I'll
Uh,
remove it,
no, no, that's fine. Don't remove that. You have added that budget category, but that budget category was also there before. I think there must be some issue with click. वो पहले सिर्फ सिंगल लाइन ही शो हो रही थी बट अब ऑल ऑफ सडन
I don't think so
सब
because
लाइन
if
शो हो रही है.
मतलब if there are more than one category it will show. हाँ ये हो सकता है, maybe during my screen sharing the colors might not be visible to you. I mean ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि अगर there are four categories and there is only one line visible. हाँ ये हो सकता है screen sharing में my colors are not visible to you. There might be a case. अगर मैं
Yes,
distinct color use करूँ, actually थोड़ा ना color के साथ
that's
तो बहुत
fine.
ज़्यादा issue आता है click में. I mean customer actually expect a lot of stuff which we are not able to give. Now if you can see.
Earlier too it was present. If you can control Z that back, yes, that was
There
some.
might be a case that it didn't got. reloaded or loaded.
Yes,
See,
yes,
sometimes
yes.
it happens as well that chart doesn't get reloaded properly. It's all
Right,
like connected to internet and all, connected to data. Or maybe one when you were looking at it, it was still loading. There might be a case, but there cannot be a case wherein there are four categories, everything is unselected and it is still showing one line. Yeah, there might be a case that the four category data is always similar, right?
right.
So the lines are overlapping. It could be a case, but usually it doesn't happen.
So in such cases, we will just change the RY axis.
Yeah, I mean, see, these are the scenarios. These are the particular scenarios. As per your data, if something is going wrong, then you have to make some adjustments. Whatever you feel is best for your data and your customer. What scenarios I'm telling you? These are some rare scenarios. Usually, it doesn't happen. Even there are cases wherein your line chart is looking very bad because your data is in that manner. Right now, there is
Yes,
a trend. Right now, there is a trend. So that's why line chart is not looking that bad. But in
yes,
host
yes.
in
Sometime, yeah,
data is in such a bad shape. So what happens when there is a new launch of a product? So the sales is not happening, right? Because it is just even about to launch or just got launched. So but you have to show the trend. So sometimes sales has happened, sometimes it is zero. So it is always tanking to this zero axis, x axis. Then again it is shooting up. So line chart is not showing, not in a that. Then you have to adjust as per your data. You have to think of another chart, that in what chart type I can show it better, in a better manner.
that we will
It's all a
explore.
data world. It's all like, it's nothing fixed. It always changes as per the data only, as per time, as per requirement.
Yes,
All
right.
right. So we have our budget. Now we want to add some sales data as well. So I have my sale file. I want to add all the four sheets. Now I again want to see the best possible match. If I'll click on that, it is showing me the green color that this circle is best matched for it. This
Yes, yes.
circle, load the data, associate and load. Now you'll observe one thing. So this we can rename. It is also the auto generator, but this we can name it as budget section. Let's see the how the data model is looking. So the error, it was showing me that you have made a change, but you haven't saved the QVF. So
Here
if
we
you'll go to another section, the change would again change would not happen, and again it would go it in a initial stage. So if you can see right now, we had our budget file, right? And now I have fetched some sales data as well.
yes,
Okay, just because I know the data and I have made the auto association. So this is the what should I say? This is a bad thing of auto associativity,
okay,
because I know my data, my store location cannot get attached to product
product.
dimension, product table. So what it has done, let me show you quickly. I'll remove my unnecessary codes. So if you'll notice what it has done, it has renamed my location ID as product ID location ID,
Yes,
and it has renamed my product ID as product ID location ID, just to
location
create
ID.
a connection between product and location. But
Yes,
logically, my location ID cannot be similar to my project product ID. My product is
yes,
something else, location is something
as
else. So
perfect.
that is the disadvantage of using this. Though AI is there and everything is there, but it is not that much smart,
Sometime, okay,
right? So you should know your data,
right,
right? If you are
right.
going to data model where,
We need to create it manually, I think. Or
exactly, then your own intelligence, your own data awareness comes into picture. Ideally, they both should not be connected to each other, and that's why what we do, or what we can do, I'll just removing it. I'm creating a new section. I can name it as sales only. I'll
yes,
again go to my data connection and again selecting that file. I'll select all the
right,
sheets, inserting it.
right, right.
One thing I'll tell you, we as a best practice we should name our tables, but let me
Okay,
quickly do it as well. It is always a best practice to name your table. Never leave your tables unnamed. What would happen if you won't name it? It will take the sheet name as the table name only,
Table.
but you
Okay.
should. It is a best practice so that it's not just you who will use the application or who will develop the application. It's your colleagues as well,
Yes.
right? So you should leave that application in a very clean manner and something which another person can also understand.
So I think there is one thing about product subcategory.
If I'll load it again, so this thing, if you'll see, this is the best part of Click. It hardly took 3 seconds for it to load the data, entire data, like 2 Excel file, 6 sheets. It doesn't
Yes.
happen in other tools. I have used Power BI, I have used Tableau. That it took ages in those tools.
Okay.
So now my data is behaving, the model is behaving as per the data, that
So
my
they
product
have
information are
made,
connected to each other.
yes, they
My
have made
budget is
the,
connected.
yes,
So this is kind of a
look,
star schema forming,
Iceland.
and this is a data island. But I want this whole to be connected to a fact table as well. I don't
Okay.
want them to be separated because I want to create a data model itself, wherein everything is connected to each other. So I have another file which is my sales data. So this was just my, okay. Do you understand about master data and the transactional data?
Master data, are you talking about fact or dimension table?
Exactly, fact and dimensions.
So fact table is our main table in which we have all the information. Uh, all they have is a primary key. Using that, we can get the data of that particular field from the dimension table.
Yes, kind of correct. So we do use terminology as master table and a transactional table.
Okay.
So what does master table does? Master table is only created once,
Yes.
and it gets updated on a very limited period. For example, if you can see product, you have your product ID, product name, product description, subcategory ID, manufacturer, brand name.
They
These are
will
the
remain
things which
constant.
will remain constant for a good period of time.
Right.
If I have a product ID one, if it has a name as T-shirt, or sorry, name as some polo or something, and description as T-shirt, it will remain for a quite good amount of time, like for 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, right?
Right.
So this table won't be changed on a regular basis. Similarly, like
Yes.
product category ID, category name,
Same.
subcategory ID, and all. So these are my dimension tables, which or master items, I would say, master table. But
Okay. So
my
we call
sales
them
master tables,
master tables. Okay.
yeah. But my sale is something which is happening every minute, every second, every day, right?
Right. Right.
Data gonna be changing. So that is a transactional table. My
Okay.
transactions are happening over there. So I don't want year and month because year and month are already there in the table. If we'll go to data model viewer now, so you can see now my data model has been created. So these are my dimension tables. They are connected to
Mhm.
each other. This is my fact table. It is connected to the product ID through product
Yes.
ID. I have some store location information. It is connected to the location ID. Then I have calendar, which has my uh, time information. Ideally, it should be separate table for all the date values. So it is there. And I have my budget as
So,
well.
Rahul, yesterday I was working with another data as well. So what happened that I didn't created all this year, month, date, day, but in master item, all these things were already available, or you can say the field were also available,
If you can
automatically
see,
created by.
okay, I got your point. So you must have imported the data through data manager only, right?
Yes.
So if you import your data through data manager, then these fields are automatically created. But if you directly fetch the data from data editor, then they don't get created. You have to create it by your own.
Okay.
So try with data editor, not with data manager, and you will see these fields won't be there. Okay. Try it
Okay.
once today. You will see the change. Okay. So my data
Okay.
model has been created.
Right.
Now what we'll do, we'll start creating our now new dashboards. So I told you that sales and budgets work hand in hand, right?
Yes. It will be good if we can see how much budget we have utilized over sales and
Exactly,
specifically category wise as well.
exactly. Now what we'll do, we'll create. new sheet. Let's give it a name, sales analysis, something like that. Okay. Now
Yes.
I want to show my sales, particularly sales, as per my categories. So I'll tell you to show the bar chart in some different manner, which is useful for customer as well.
Okay. Sales by category. So dimension will be our category and sales will be our measures.
Sorry?
You said sales by category, right?
Yeah, sales by category.
So dimensions will be our categories and sales will be our measure.
Yes.